morning! Happy Monday and welcome back to my channel. So today is our first day back to school after spring break and I'm definitely not ready to go back to school. I have so much work that I have to do just like right off the bat. I need to hit the ground running and all I want to do is go back to the beach. So the first thing on my agenda this week is my Advanced Professionals Practices class, and that's the class where I've been working on my anemone collection. So for the past couple weeks you've seen me working on 3 of 4 of my anemone prints, and the whole thing is due next week, so I gotta come up with print number 4 pretty much as soon as possible. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet, so today is probably gonna be spent brainstorming, and then hopefully I can start painting really soon because I need to get that done. Then in my afternoon class, I'm starting on that brand new bedding collection that's inspired by florals, and I actually narrowed down my flower selection, and if you couldn't tell from the gigantic hint behind me, I think I'm gonna do tulips for that project, which is a flower that many of you suggested in the comments and on my last video, so thank you so much for that. I also thought it would just be so fitting because it's like New York's sign of spring. They've been popping up all over the city lately and they're just so happy and colorful, and I thought that it would be just kind of like a perfect way to round off this spring semester. So before I head to campus, I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of these tulips just so I have some references for drawing later in the day, and yeah, then I'll head to campus, so I'll see you there. Here are the 3 prints that make up my anemone collection so far. I have my hero print, which is the main design in my collection, my first coordinate, which you saw me develop a few weeks ago, and my newest print, which I don't think I've actually shown you yet. This geometric design was inspired by cellular structures, starfish mouths, the surface of water, and the shapes of my anemones. I created this print on my iPad and I printed it out on watercolor paper. So for my next design, my inspiration was to create a pattern that resembled a landscape. I imagined abstract layered semicircles that vaguely echoed the shapes of my anemones and together would give the look of rolling hills. So I sketched out a rough layout using Adobe Illustrator, which I would use as the basis for my painting. Hello again, I just got out of my first class of the day and I made most of a plan for my anemone print, which is a relief, but I'm still just like really tired and really just like overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have to do. So I'm gonna use this 2-hour break to go get some food, try to chill out a bit, and yeah, I'll see you in my bedding class. Hot soup and hot dumplings on a cold day is like an instant mood booster. Anyway, I have to go to Blick really quick because I need a couple supplies for my next class, so yeah, let's go. So I'm now heading back for my bedding class specifically, and that was the one where I mentioned that I would start doing a tulip related design for my next project. So I just wanted to talk you through what my idea is at the moment, so what I'm doing in class today might make a little bit more sense. So if you've been following my YouTube videos for a little while, you probably saw me do my giant experimental marbling screen printing extravaganza with my bug and brooch screen. And that's where I took my screen and I just splatter painted all over it, and it created this really cool kind of like textural marble effect that I totally fell in love with. But with the bug and brooch project, that marbling was purely experimental, just for fun. It's not gonna go in my portfolio. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to take those techniques and take what I learned and make something that could actually go in my portfolio. So like a project that focuses on that really cool experimental technique, if that makes sense. So what I'm going for are big oversized flowers that are filled in with this marbling texture, and it'll be just like a really cool, kind of abstract, kind of floral, very textural bedding project. I think that works. I think that'll be fun, right? So today in class what I need to do is paint some gigantic flowers, because a big part of this project is that our teacher wants to see everything in full scale. So I'm gonna paint some huge tulips in solid black paint, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go to screen printing lab, make a whole bunch of those marble textures, and then in Photoshop I can combine the two. So basically I can just cut and paste that marble texture into the flowers, manipulate the colors, manipulate the size, and just have a whole lot of fun with it on the computer. So it's gonna be pretty boring at first, but then once I get everything together, I think it's gonna be really fun. I used my iPad to draw some really big blocky tulips that were based on the photos that I took earlier on in the day. I then sketched a general plan of my duvet cover. And then I started painting with India ink. And after 4 hours of class, I had a whole bunch of giant tulips, stems, and leaves. Hello again, I just finished my bedding class. I spent pretty much the whole 4 hours just painting tulips, and I think they turned out all right. I am now gonna head home. I have some work I probably should do. Will I do any of it? I don't know. I might just call it an early night and go to sleep, so I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm currently walking to campus. I have my old screens from last semester, the ones that are like significantly smaller than the ones we're using right now, and I'm heading to screen printing studio so I can make some of those marbled papers for my bedding collection. So yeah, let's go. My first step was to mix up a whole bunch of inks based on the color palette that I picked out for my project. I tried my best to match my color palette exactly, but I also knew that I could Photoshop the colors later, so I didn't need to make it totally perfect. Then I spent the rest of the morning creating tons and tons of different marbled designs. I made a whole bunch of sheets using different combinations of the colors from my palette, and I really like how they turned out. I also saved all of my inks in case I need to make some more later on. Hello again, I just finished all that screen printing. I actually had a lot of fun doing that. It's very just like calm and meditative to just splatter a bunch of paint around and not really care about the outcome, and then just be like pleasantly surprised every single time. So overall, very fun time. So I now have a 2-hour break until my next class, which is my screen printing class, and we actually have our critique today. So I've been working on print number 2 for my bug and brooch collection, and that's finally done. I finally get to share with the class. So yeah, I'll show you what I made. But first, I'm gonna go find some food. My collection, titled Living Jewels, combines glamorous costume jewelry with beetles and bugs. For the second print of our collections, we needed to create a stripe that coordinates with our first print. So I created a pattern made of necklaces, bracelets, bugs, and brooches in 3 colorways. finally done with my screen printing critique and I'm on my way home now. Overall, the critique went really well. I honestly, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I really like this project that I've been working on this semester, so it feels good to like feel good about my work and share it with the class and get some really good feedback. And yeah, overall it's been a really good day. Anyway, I'm now heading home. I actually have a lot of work to do because I have another critique tomorrow in Illustrator and haven't quite finished my project yet, so I'm definitely going to be staying up late tonight trying to make some more prints and finish my presentation. So yeah, I'll show you how that turns out tomorrow. Are you doing my work for me? Good morning, happy Wednesday. I'm really tired this morning. I spent pretty much all night last night working on my Illustrator project for the critique today. And of course, I'm dressed for the occasion. I'm wearing that strawberry sweater that you saw me buy a couple videos back. This morning I woke up early so I could work on anemone print number 4, which is what I have to work on today in class first thing. And honestly, I don't really know if I'm liking how it's turning out so far, so I'm going to spend the morning tweaking my design so this weekend I can just sit down and paint. So yeah, let's head to campus. After grabbing all of my painting supplies from my locker, I met up with my professor and she helped me figure out my issues with my anemone print. And once I got it to a place that I was much happier with, I started painting. After a class period, I had quite a bit of my painting done. This design featured a lot of really big, blocky shapes, so it went by pretty quickly. Then I got ready for my Illustrator class critique. My project, titled Futuristic Flourish, is a children's wear textile collection that imagines a whimsical digital garden that's ripe with berries for picking. Finally done with that critique. Overall went really well. I am actually pretty happy with how my prints turned out, and for the rest of the semester we're just going to be working on making like a nice presentation for all those prints, so it should be pretty chill going forward, which feels really good because I definitely need some chill. Anyway, I'm now heading home and I'm actually going to go to a baseball game with Ryan tonight, so it's kind of something fun to do as a way to relax. So yeah, I'll take you along with me. As I mentioned in my last vlog, I'm definitely not much of a baseball fan, but we impulsively decided to go to tonight's game just for the heck of it, and we had a really great time. Good morning, happy Thursday. I'm now heading to campus and I have my screen printing class first thing. And in that class, I'm gonna start working on my third and final design for my bug and brooch collection. I think I kind of have an idea of what I wanna do, but I'm not fully sure yet. So I'm hoping to meet with the teacher, do some sketches, just kind of brainstorm today. Then I have my 6-hour break until my night class. So in that time, I'm hoping to get a lot of things done. I'm hoping that maybe I can finish that painting that I started yesterday. So got a lot to do. Wish me luck. Hello again, I just got out of my screen printing class and I actually didn't end up recording anything because we actually spent pretty much the whole class period finishing up the critiques that we didn't get to last Tuesday and just kind of talking about our next project, and there wasn't really much like work to show you, so sorry about that. But I'm now heading to lunch and yeah, then I'll get to work. All that was left to do for my painting was to add in the details. So I started by painting in the tiny little anemones that inhabit this strange landscape. Then I cleaned up my painting and I added some finishing touches. And then it was finally done. Here's my whole collection all together. And next Monday, I'll present these to our class for our class critique. Hello again, I just finished up my painting collection, which is just like crazy. So all 4 pieces of my anemone collection are now done, and that is such a huge relief. So I'm just sitting here with the tulips and cherry blossoms, finishing up the rest of my boba. I'm just like breathing for a sec before I actually get to head home. So normally I'd have my night class in a couple hours, but the teacher decided to make it remote for whatever reason, so I get to go home, I get to do class in my bed, I get to not worry about my collection anymore, so it's a good day. Anyway, since I'm probably just gonna climb into bed the second I get home, I will say goodnight and see you tomorrow. Good morning, happy sunny Friday. I'm currently on my way to my weaving class where I'm gonna be designing some more summer and winter weaves, starting my loom, and hopefully I can get to weaving today. So yeah, let's go to campus. In class, I continued to perfect my weaving drafts for my summer and winter weave project. I started out with some cute, simple springtime motifs, but I wasn't really sure if I was heading in the right direction. Hello again, I just got out of my weaving class and I have about an hour until I have to go back to my weaving class and actually start weaving, and I'm thinking a lot about my project for this class and I don't really know if I'm happy with what I'm making just yet. I kind of feel like this feels a little bit repetitive to me, just like the idea of like doing a like springtime nature whimsical kind of like fantasy thing, because like I already feel like I'm doing a tulip project in my bedding class and I'm doing my like whimsical fruit berry picking project in my illustrator class. So like doing now like a kind of springtime tulipy buggy project feels really redundant, and like I feel like I ended up in this space just because I couldn't think of anything earlier on, and now I'm kind of trapped in it because I'm this far and I don't know if I have the time to change my designs. So yeah, I'm just feeling kind of weird about this. I know that like people reuse concept and reuse motifs and like reuse stuff all the time in this program, but like I just kind of feel weird doing it. So I don't know, maybe I just have to get over it and just like embrace that this is becoming like a semester of bugs in springtime. Maybe that's just like what my brain needs right now. I don't really know, but yeah, I just wanted to share these feelings. Anyway, so I'm gonna grab some food and then head back to class. Also, I'm wearing a vest that I made in one of my previous YouTube videos and you might recognize it. I'll put a link to that video in the description. Back in class, I finished threading my loom with my lavender colored warp. Then I started on my first sample, which featured little spotted ladybugs. Hello again, I just got out of my weaving class about like an hour ago and I decided to come to Central Park to soak up some of the sunshine, and Ryan's gonna meet me for dinner soon, so it's a good evening. Found him. Thank you so much for joining me this week for my art school adventures. If you'd like to see how my projects develop, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in next week's video.